moves. He has nominated the Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin as the Speaker for the next Parliament. He's asked the leadership of the NPPF, of the NDC in Parliament to ensure that that happens. We'll see how that pans out later tonight. Yes, in Parliament. Revoked banking licenses are final, no reinstatement under my watch. This is coming from the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Addison. And then finally, Ghana's economic recovery rebounding due to effective measures undertaken by my government. This is coming from the outgoing president. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has less than 12 hours to be the president of this country. Finally, his time comes to an end. And in the State of the Nation address that took place, he made some pronouncements about the economy, including the fact that, according to him, food prices are declining. I don't know which country's State of the Nation's address he was delivering. That is just by the way. So we shall discuss all these topics on the show this morning on Good Morning Africa. Once again, be a part of the conversation. Let me know what your thoughts are. This morning, I've been joined by the indefatigable, the maverick, Solomon Owusu. Mr. Owusu, good morning.
Good morning, bless, and good morning to your cherry.
I trust you're fine.
Oh, we can't complain. In less than 24 hours, we will not be seeing President Akufo-Addo on our TV again as the president of the land. Neither would we see Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia as a vice president. So we are waiting for a new era. At least our TV will witness a new set of people who will also be bringing their ideas, particularly a woman as a vice president. And so we can't complain. Let me also express my condolence or my deepest sadness to those that have lost their words at Cantamanto. It's very depressing knowing how much people invest in business and all of a sudden you wake up and there is nothing to pick. I wish all of them speedy recovery from the shocks, and also all the banks must have patience for them. This is not the time you send your recovery guys to be banking at their doors when they are in their lowest. It is becoming one too many. It is becoming one too many.
Right. This morning, for the first time in a long time, I've been joined by the people's representative of the Sisala West constituency, Honorable Mohammed Adam Sukparu, clad in his white regalia, birthday boy. He's in the birthday mood. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
You're fine.
Thank you very much.
And congratulations.
Thank you very much.
On your re-election by the good people of Golu and all the surrounding communities. According to them, one good term deserves another. So they have maintained you as their representative, their legislator in the 9th Parliament. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think ever since I got elected to represent my people, today is my first time of appearing here. It's been long that I've been here, and so let me use your platform to just say a very big thank you to my people. When I say my people, the people of Sisala West, the good people of Sisala West, for electing me once again to represent them. It means that the first term that I got opportunity to represent them, I represented them very well. And the results shows it all, and I would not take them for granted. I'm not going to take this victory for granted. And as you rightly stated, today is my birthday, and today happens to be an era that everybody in this country was waiting for. And I'm the most happiest person because I'm celebrating it's double celebration. One, an era that has come to an end, an era that we witnessed for the past 8 years, unprecedented hardship, lawlessness. We've experienced a lot of, impunity leadership, all kinds of third-party leadership trees that you can talk about. And so today happens to be the last day for President Nana Addo. I'm more than happy, and I know many Ghanaians are happy that that this era has come to an end. Like Nkrumah said, the battle has come to an end, and Ghana is free forever. And tomorrow we shall start the hope that we've been hoping for the past years, for the past 8 years. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will take up the leadership of this country, and the resetting agenda will start from tomorrow. And everybody in this country will witness the kind of leadership we all require. We need somebody who is humble, somebody who really understands the plight of the people, somebody who thinks as an ordinary person like you and I, and not somebody who sees himself as a king and wants to be worshipped. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has the opposite, and he's done it before, and that is why the people of this country decided to bring him back to come and fix the mess that has been created by this government. And so for me, I am the most happiest person, but it's like I don't know, my joy today cannot even express it. And let me take the opportunity to thank everybody, all the people in this country, all the millions that voted for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The vote that we voted in on 7th December was like a vote of no confidence in this current leadership. And so I was surprised when I was in Parliament and His Excellency that going president was stating some achievement, still saying that the economy is doing well. The economy cannot be doing well. The result of this economy was what we saw on the 7th of December. So if the economy, or if they had made this economy better, I don't think the result they got, the 38.2%, they would have gotten it. This is the worst ever results ever gotten by a political party, especially these two major political parties. From where we started the Fourth Republic about 32 years ago, and for a party like a New Patriotic Party getting this figure, it tells you how abysmal, how poorly they implemented their policies, and how a lot of things didn't go on well in this country. And so for me, I'm just happy that we are starting a new era, an era that is for everybody, an era everyone will be part of this country. In the past 8 years, you and I were not part of this country, even though we're living in our own country, a country that our parents were born, a country our forefathers were born here. We are supposed to be part of the country, but it was more or less like many of the people living here, including my good friend Solo, we are not part of this country. Only few people and some few party, faithful and family and friends were seen as the most important people in this country. So tomorrow, everybody will have the right to be called a Ghanaian. Everybody will have the right to question and ask for what he or she is asking the government of his country to do for him. So I'm glad that we are starting a new era, and this era is an era of hope. It's an era that will bring jobs to the people, an era that will make businesses flourish again, an era that will let us get all the the development project that we've been yearning for the past 8 years. So I'm happy. Happy. I'm just glad.
And happy birthday once again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
The very best of the year.
Let me use this opportunity to thank my mom. My mom, Hajia Jalia Duma. Today happens to be the day she gave birth to me some 40 years ago. And she together with I'm 40.
Yeah, young.
Very young. Very young. I believe it's because of responsibilities that you see me having.
The grace have adorned your beard.
Let me thank her. I appreciate her so much, and it is because of her today I am sitting here.
Right.
And then it is important when you are wishing me happy birthday.
You also remember her.
You remember her.
The person who brought you.
Yes. On that very faithful day, she went through a lot.
Yes.
You can imagine the pain she went through
to bring you out.
And so, Mom, I thank you.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Right. Zimbabwe abolishes death penalty. That's going to be our very first topic for conversation. Ghana has already done that. Last year, we passed a bill in Parliament that saw the end of the death penalty. Some opposition, there are people who are not happy with it. According to them, the death penalty, of course, despite the fact that no president really has signed since the Fourth Republic to hang anybody or to send someone to the guillotine or to send any individual to the firing squad, they feel that it should still be on our books because it serves as deterrent to people who may want to kill other people. To some extent, I disagree. Of course, all of you watching know that I disagree with the death penalty. I mean, for the very fact that the law is not perfect, people could be wrongly incarcerated, people could be wrongly sentenced to death, and once you end their lives, there's no chance again to prove their innocence. Even if later on their innocence is proven, you can't bring that person back to life. And also is the fact that, look, if you take a life, if somebody takes another person's life, you taking the person's life in return only shortens their woes. Rather than that, if they are incarcerated for the rest of, if you give them a life imprisonment rather, where they live under severe hardship in the prisons, I feel that it is more of a bigger punishment. That is my personal opinion. I don't know what the opinions of my panelists here are. I'm starting this conversation with Solomon Owusu of the Movement for Change. Is the abolition of the death penalty in Zimbabwe welcoming news? Institutions like Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch, all these human rights institutions, they have been pushing for this. If you go to several African countries, it has been abolished. You go to the United States, for instance, there are some states where the death penalty is still on. However, there are very loud calls for the abolition of the death penalty for the very reasons that I stated in my preamble. What are your thoughts?
So, Bless, I live in my house, innocently not have attacked anyone. Someone comes to my house and kill me. Then my family members call for justice, that in the same way and manner I have been killed, that person is killed. Then human rights watchers and the human rights activists comes in and say he has a human right. I that did not do anything, assuming I even did anything to him, that person coming to kill me did not consider that scenario, but decided to kill me. And when the person kills me, then he enjoys human rights. Look, last year or so when they were abolishing it, I was one of the few voices that fought against it. And I totally disagree. Death penalty must be there. I'm telling you. It ought to be there, and it must. Look, Zimbabwe, their situation. They interviewed citizens of Zimbabwe as to whether or not they wanted the death penalty. 61% of the population said they needed it. Now what did they do again? They said they went and interviewed about 1,900 of the opinion leaders. And who were the opinion leaders? Politicians, civil rights activists, religious leaders, heads of state institutions and so on. And mind you, Bless, when we say death penalty, it is not about people who are physically killing other human beings. People in authority stealing money, they are killing human beings and must face the death penalty. Money is meant for the construction of hospitals. If it is given to you, Bless, and you decide to use it on yourself or your family, and in so doing denying a lot of Ghanaians or human beings from enjoying what would have been public good versus private good, and you say such a person must be living or must be walking around, I don't support it. I don't know. Look, I am not those that believe in this emotional nonsense. Excuse my French this morning. If you know you are not going to commit, and mind you, the law looks at intent or intention. So from your own opening statement, it means when a person is accused of any wrongdoing, the person is taken through the bills of the law. It is for the judge to determine the intention, whether or not it was intentional. If genuinely the person has a case, that death penalty will not work. We have been moving from this country to Japan to borrow. Japan has a death penalty law. We have been going to China. In fact, China is our number one, what do you call it, lending country. When we talk about bilateral facilities, China kills more than anyone. You know what they do? They do that. China has a population of more than 1 billion, almost 1.4 billion. Can you imagine one person deciding to siphon the state resources? The repercussions on the billions of people in that country. A lot of them will go hungry. So all that the law is there to do is to deter. Yes, I have seen people say that in spite of the fact that death penalty exists, it does not deter anyone. So can you imagine it not being in existence? Even when people know that when they commit certain crimes, they will be killed, they still do it. How much more removing it? We cannot be doing emotional nonsense. Don't steal, you go and steal, you face the consequences of it. Or those that are calling for the removal of the death penalty, do they intend to commit crimes? If you are not having any intentions of us to going to commit such a crime, for which reason you will be killed, why fear? 27 states in the United States of America. What country in this world prices of being a democratic country? They know the importance of it. But you see, when we allow criminals to be occupied some of these Amnesty International, civil society organizations, then they push the agenda on us. Have you heard or seen anybody on the street kicking against death penalty? Because they are not closer to the state purse. We go and put people behind bars, prison. We turn around feeding them. You know those in prison, we feed them. The person has stolen from you. But for the fact that we don't have enough money, they will be eating chicken here and there and coming back to tell you that it's not even a nice chicken. So I disagree that it has to be abolished, because there cannot be any deterring law in this world than to let everyone understand that if you go to the extreme, your life will be taken away from you.
What about what I said earlier about the fact that the law is not perfect?
Yes.
The law, I mean, somebody could be wrongly incarcerated and sentenced to death. Then we later get to realize that, oh, this person didn't commit first-degree felony or murder as we thought the person may have done. You have already killed the person.
So
what's the chance of the person, having the opportunity to even prove their innocence when you have already sentenced the person to death and gone ahead to kill the person?
So
that is the other argument as well. And you made examples of the United States. In fact, since 1979, records have proven that over 100 people have been wrongly killed for murder. These people do not have the chance again to come back to life. But once you sentence them to a life imprisonment, at least they are there for the rest of their lives, and the fact that they are not even enjoying that freedom of coming out of prison is enough punishment.
So the point is that the problem is not about the law, whether or not you are abolishing the law. The problem is rather to strengthen the judiciary, that they do right to all manner of persons.
What is strengthening the judiciary?
So,
because even in democracies that we think are perfect, and I gave you examples like the United States, the democracies that we think are so perfect, where their judicial system is stoic, is very strong, they are getting it wrong sometimes.
So yes, you know very well that House number 893, Mr. Kwesi killed.
How do you know very well?
I'm coming.
How do you know very well?
Before it's established that, so let's don't even go to the technicalities. You know.
Yes.
you know that Kwesi Mensah killed your brother, and you know that Kwesi Mensah is in Sawan prison, every time you see the face of Kwesi Mensah, what would they remind you?
Well, it reminds me that Kwesi Mensah killed me.
Absolutely. And are you going to be happy? The truth of the matter is that
Kwesi Mensah's death does not bring back the life of the person who
so you decided so that if I know by killing someone, all that will happen to me is that I will be made to go and rest in a prison.
Is it rest in this rest in Ghana?
What are you going to prison resting?
People who have been condemned, people who have been sentenced to life, they live under very harsh conditions.
They kill them because then the ultimate goal, if you are putting the person under very harsh conditions, then the ultimate or the end product of it is that the person is going to die.
But the person also has a chance to prove their innocence if they truly did not kill them. But you have killed the person, so everything has ended.
You are saying it as though the moment you are pronounced guilty, straight away you go and face the firing squad. It doesn't happen. Even in the United States, since 2022, no one has been killed, and most of these countries that have the death penalty.
Last year people were killed.
No, that one was extreme, and when they were injected.
Last year people were killed.
But the point is that those people, they have the benefit of the legal system to be appealing against all these decisions.
Yes.
If they strongly believe about it.
You could, and I mean, records have shown that you could still appeal and lose. That's why
you are guilty.
No, it's not always the case.
But the point
it is not always the case.
Why must we remove it when that one would rather encourage people to be doing things with impunity?
Encourage? I mean, if there are records, records available show us that even in these so-called democracies where death penalty exists, people are still being killed. They are still killing people.
Was it last year?
They are still killing people.
Last year or so, a young military officer, an Adventist military officer, buys a land in the Kasua area, decides to go and visit the land, then the guy is killed.
We do not support it.
So now the person that killed must be going around all in the name of human rights, but the dead does not have any fundamental human rights.
The argument is that there are cases whereby the people who you see I mean, the question that people will throw at you is that imagine your loved one was killed. If your loved one was killed, bless, you wouldn't be saying what you are saying. But then again, if my loved one has also been wrongly sentenced to death,
that is why I directed your mind to the fact that then the judicial processes has to be robust so that innocent souls are not convicted wrongfully.
The law is not infallible.
No, the law is not infallible, but if the system decide that's why we have natural justice. You go and make a case, and let me tell you, believe me, when you are in the court and two people are speaking without being a judge, you can easily detect who is lying. You know, the moment any human being start lying, he leaves a lot of gaps. You understand? So for me, it being there is good, so good. But you see, they are going to remove it. And what is the remover? What problem is the remover solving? Tell me. What problem is the remover or the abolishment of the death penalty solved? Ever since we abolished the death penalty, what problem has it solved?
What problem did the death penalty?
Because they were not executing. They were just convicting them of the sentence them to life with blood.
You see, Mr.
I would have cleared out of the river when the president, the system went.
You went.
The system would have stabilized. Look, let me tell you, when you are made a leader, the point I'm trying to say is that there are certain laws that exist to deter. There are a lot of laws in our status. If we are going to implement all the laws in our criminal code, yes, I'm telling you that this country can't move. But some of it are deliberately put there to stabilize the system. You understand? Because the human being has the penchant of committing crime. You get my point? Then there should need to even promulgate any law, any criminal act. We must allow every human being to be enjoying. You get my point? But the truth of the matter is that there has to be consequences for your actions and inactions. And that is all that I'm trying to drown in. I would not be happy to see someone killed, but it is important that it is there to alert your mind that you cannot just, and we are looking at it from the angle of someone killing another person through the barrel of the gun alone. But let me tell you, corruption, you have been given money to go and construct road. You refuse. Pregnant women on their way to go and deliver in the hospitals die as a result of bad rules. And such a person you think might be going around, go and then sit in the prisons and then observing what? We cannot allow that. So for me, yes, Ghana has decided to abolish it. I kicked against it when they were doing it, and I remain safe. I believe the countries such as Japan is a country, can you imagine, bless this country, can you use your laptop or tablet in a public space and go and come and have it? That mistakenly you left your laptop at, say, Village Inn for like a day, and you go and come back and it is where it is. It is in Japan that you can see that, because the people know that if they are caught in that act, it is non-negotiable. It is the only place that when you go and commit crime, like when you go and steal state resources and you are caught, the people that have even killed themselves before the state get them. You understand? Because they know the consequence of that, and that is what has led them to develop. These 2x4 people go and use about $15 million to go and cook food for less than 5,000 people at the All African Games and be walking about building roughly, and you tell me that some people might be walking around? Someone go and use $4.5 million to act as well, do what? Tax. Or what do you call it? It's tax. $4.5 million just to put papers in a frame. Denying a lot of people. Meanwhile, such a person, his hometown, his constituents are wallowing in abject poverty. They don't have potable drinking water. And you say on the altar of human rights, nonsense. Such person, they must be living. Then we must stop going to China to go and borrow. Because the people that we are borrowing from, they execute, they kill. When you commit crime, they kill. So we don't need money that are invested with blood. They are showing you the way. Best practices. I will always, and any given day, anytime, go in for the death penalty. If it is with me, fair due. If it is not, can you imagine? We would attach death penalty to the Trumu business. And mind you, today is the 6th of January. It means President Kufuor didn't sign the LGBTQ+. Or maybe in a few hours he won't sign. You understand? Can you imagine two adult men being caught in the act, one behind, doing it, and death penalty is attached, and I'm the president, you are caught, the court says you are guilty. I've given birth to girls that needs men to marry. You people are doing this amongst yourself, and you think I'll support it. So bless. Do not go with the emotional people. Let us be real and deal with the real issues.
Right. The views expressed by Mr. Uswa is views. There's nothing to do.
Yeah, but I am sitting here giving you the views.
They are his views.
These are my views.
Not the views or the beliefs of Pan-Africa.
Pan-Africa is Pan-Africa. I am Solomon Owusu. I've come here. I do not support the abolishment of death penalty. I believe death penalties must be in our statute books so that any corrupt official, anybody that kills one family, will be dealt with in the same measure.
Right. The Maverick Solomon Owusu. Let me hear from you. Already I see.
You can't say anything. Today's your birthday. Let me chase you.
Well, let me hear from you. Your thoughts do matter as well. Let me know what you think about this particular topic and the others that we have tabled for today's conversation. Honorable, you were in Parliament last year. Did you vote for?
Honestly, I wouldn't even wait for you to. I didn't vote for this.
You didn't vote?
I was part of the MPs that were against this particular one, and we were quite.
Were you the minority?
Yeah, we were. When you say were,
no, those who were. Opposed.
You know, this particular bill was a private member's bill,
yes,
sponsored by
Sosu, yes.
And so I think he alone.
Yeah,
and quite a number of us, me particularly, I didn't support this bill. And I
So if
think
you say number of few, is it majority of?
no majority. Of course, if it is majority, certainly the bill wouldn't have passed.
So the minority
yes,
of
minority. Well,
I like
yes,
that. I like that. I like
chamber,
that.
was the only
I
thing
like
that we
that.
got divided.
People will make it to heaven.
I like that.
We got divided.
Cheers to Honorable Sosu.
No. You see, some members belonging to majority were also not in support. Some members belonging to minority, we were divided.
Yeah, I know.
We were divided. But then, Parliament, because it's a democracy. So, but by the end of the day, the majority carry the vote. I personally, had a different view about this thing, and I think I agree with what Solomon is saying. So, so of course, we must sometimes listen to some organizations like Amnesty International and what have you. But let's not also forget from where we are coming from. We are all saying that we should preserve our culture. Our culture is our identity. And many of these laws, especially this death penalty thing, even in the past when we used not to have written down laws, you realize that many traditions in this country used to, implement things like this. If you kill someone, you will also be killed. It is allowed. And that particular thing, it is not about the action. For instance, for the past, let me say, 40 years, or from the inception of the Fourth Republic, we haven't experienced any president signing for an execution of someone who has been sentenced to death. But the fact that the law is there, we know that there's a particular law that when you commit a certain crime, these are the possible punishment that you will receive. That alone in itself, to me, that's my opinion, deter others from committing that particular crime. But the moment it's taken out, right, the person feels like, after all, I just don't like you. If I even, if I take your life, the worst that can happen to me is to be in prison for perpetuity, and government will still be taking care of me in that prison. And whilst being in prison, I'm coming. Whilst being in prison, I still have the right to demand for certain quality treatment from the government. You understand? But the fact that I know when I do this, the possible punishment I would receive includes death penalty. Same can be done to me. And I say, hey, then you give yourself a second thought. So for me, I think that as a country we need to hasten slowly in some of these things like we are doing. Everything that we do in Ghana, when we hear America, they are doing it. When we hear UK, they are doing it. We also want to jump and do it. But there are processes we haven't gotten there as a country. The crime rate in Ghana and the police to the population ratio, we've not even gotten there. You understand? As a country, we do not have the how do I even put it, the requisite police capacity to provide security for the citizenry. And you are talking about this. You can only say things like this when you are a country that the crime rate is that bit low. You understand? But you have in Ghana, somebody can even just get up and go and attack you because he has issue with you. Maybe you are chasing my wife, then I'll come after you with a gun. Maybe you and I we have issues because of a parcel of a land. Then the only way I can get the land is to take your life. Then let me just get rid of him. But when there are punishments like this, that in itself serve as a deterrent, not necessarily executing such punishment to somebody that will serve as but the people in their mind, they know very well that if I do this to this person, these are the possible punishment that I'll be receiving. That alone will let him inquire back. And for me, I don't think we've gotten to that level that we should be trying to to come up to say that let's abolish that particular punishment from our law. No, we haven't gotten there. So I am proud to say that I was part of the MPs that opposed this. Yes, I oppose it. And I don't know my constituents will be proud of me for this particular decision. I oppose it. I wasn't part of, I voted against it that I would not be part of, as far as I remain the member of parliament to represent the people of Sisala West. I know my people and I know the kind of people we are. We respect our culture. We have identity. We are coming from a particular background that some of these things are supposed to be in place to deter others from causing or heinous, crimes. And so for me, I wasn't for it. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Are you surprised or something?
So I'm coming. You see, I have a Chinese friend, and he tells me I said anytime I visit him and we have a conversation about development, and he tells me how we are wasting money in Ghana, in China, as a public officer, some of the things that you are not supposed to do. Nobody will tell you, but you know the consequences. I think recently, is it in China or one country like that, one of their past leaders has been executed. So the fact that that law is there, you will not even try, you will not even contemplate, you won't do it, you will not even try it. But if I know, for instance, if I do this, the worst thing that can happen to me is they'll take me to Insao, and my lawyers still have the right to appeal, and I can be given they will go ahead to do it. They will go ahead to do it. But if I know that if I commit this, the possible punishment includes death penalty. I love my family, I love my wife, I love my kids. I am not ready to die now and leave them to suffer. So I want to remain. That alone will let you call back with that intention of committing such a heinous crime. You understand? So that's what we are talking about. Because in Ghana, if some of these things are taken, as somebody will also get up to say that, same Amnesty International put pressure, I won't be surprised tomorrow to see another member of parliament also, sponsoring a bill to say that any sentence that is more than 10 years should be reduced.
Exactly,
why are you saying no? It is the person's right. I mean, the person will also argue why he thinks that they should. And I'm not comparing apples. No, I'm telling you, it is about right. Somebody will say that for you to please. When I explain, you will understand.
No, but
for you to say that
you are talking about human rights. Is that not the case? Now,
human rights is not stemming from the fact that
I remember. No, I'm coming. I remember on this same show there was a day you spoke about somebody stealing a goat and the person got 10 years imprisonment, and somebody stole huge sums of money and that person is given 2 years. You see, you on this show, you have forgotten. So when you start doing this kind of comparison, somebody will just get up and also go and sponsor a bill and say that when you steal a goat, you should be given 6 months. When you steal a certain amount of money, you should be given this amount. So that
justice must be seen to be done.
A crime
and be done fairly.
Of course, and the fairness must be done fairly. The death penalty is not applicable to all kinds of crimes. Yes, there are particular crimes. Then don't go and cause that crime.
Yes, we are not saying that.
Bless. You spoke about people being kept in prisons for
wrongly.
Yes.
So let's deal with what causes wrongful.
But yes, yes.
The law is not perfect.
No, absolutely, but the point is that
you can appeal. Honorable, you can appeal and appeal before finally they go and hang you. Only for them. Only for an evidence to surface later that you didn't commit the crime. It has happened before. Even if it has happened once.
It just happened.
One life is too many.
I am saying that. For the
one person, the president could come and then actually sign.
Bless.
I'm very happy. Honorable Soso, I'll call you after the show.
For the past 32 years that we started this Fourth Republic, have we experienced no government, no president has ever signed that I am signing for this
one person to come and will sign.
Only by
that perception that is in the minds of people that one person can come and sign. Therefore, don't go and cause this. Don't do it. That alone is enough.
I disagree with you.
I also disagree with you.
Respectfully.
And I'm saying that.
I disagree with you.
I disagree with you.
I know.
I disagree with your position that particular announcement was acknowledged. If I had my way, I will also. But let me just leave it. That we also, those of us that were against it, we also lobbied.
I'm happy that you were in the minority. It's good.
We lobbied at least to support.
It's not out of fear.
It wasn't out of fear.
We know it is a correct law.
No, but he said, you know, there are people from both the majority and minority. That majority and minority is changing tonight, by the way. There are people from there who didn't support it. Both of them. Both. Yes.
Because of, you know,
it wasn't even a caucus something.
Yeah, but
no, it wasn't. It was a private member.
Yes.
They know
it wasn't a caucus decision.
Yes. Within them that it's a good thing to
No, it's not.
But they will only play to the gallery.
No, they didn't play to the gallery. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I've already received a number of messages. Let me go through them. My viewers also disagree with me, but maybe I'm a team now. I'm a team. Good morning, Pan Africa TV. Greetings to Mr. Solo for his hard work. Alaji SY from Tamale. All right. Good morning, Bless, and your wonderful panelists. Please, is the NDC 183 2/3 majority? Well, not yet. Bless, by what you are saying you mean that the law court should have no jurisdiction to deliver punishment, because after the punishment it could later be realized that the person was innocent. Per your philosophy, even imprisonment should not be countenanced. Abdul Razak Wamale from Tamale. That's not what I'm saying. Capital punishment. Capital punishment is killing. That is capital punishment. Capital punishment should be removed from our books. It has been removed from our books, and I'm very happy about that. Capital punishment.
You are very happy.
I'm very happy that good morning, Bless. I strongly agree with Solomon. I strongly disagree with you. Anyone who deliberately kills must not be allowed to live. What is deliberate? How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you determine that that's the person? You see, that's the question. How do you determine that that is the person who killed? It is always not the case. Right, thank you so much. Isaac Asase says, I support Solomon Owusu that capital punishment must be kept. Omar Melens, good morning, my brothers. One love. Yao Kafi Blaze says, your sound is bad. I think we've rectified that. Thank you very much for notifying us. Nzori Kwa Isaac says, good morning, Bless, and your colossal panelists. Please, the precedent that the NPP and the EC are setting will be detrimental to them and haunt them in years to come. Please, it's NDC's 183 2/3 majority. Isaac watching you live from Manjia in the Jomoro municipality. Thank you, Isaac. No, it is not. Komensa Pilatu says 1 million youth to be trained in digital. JDM Ghanaians are waiting for you. Special greetings to Ajia Safia Mohammed, incoming NPP National Women Organizer, and lawyer Justin Kodi Afrimpong, NPP General Secretary, by Komensa Pilatu. Thank you, Komensa. And now Sufo says Ghana Power concentrates on northerners. Who said that? I regret.
No.
I need
to respond to this.
I regret reading the first part of the message. I should have gone through it.
Let me. You see, I have a problem when people say northerners. They say it is time for people to know that we do not have a region called northern. Northern. We have a region called northern region. The 5 regions in the north. So are we saying that anything happening in the south? So, for instance, vice president is from central region. Somebody
forget about this kind of
because if you go to northern region or northern Ghana, we have 5 regions.
Yes.
With different tribes.
Yes.
Even Upper West, for instance.
Yes.
Upper West, we are 11 constituency. We speak about 3 or 4 different languages. I am a Sesala. I can't speak Wale. I can't speak Dagari. Somebody being Wala cannot speak Sesale. But we are all from Upper West. So when you say that northern region or northern Ghana, northerners, we are.
Oh, okay. That's what the message means.
Come again.
The message is even actually happy that power is concentrated.
But I saw a certain fire. Somebody is also saying, trying to do some comparison.
No, but even aside that, I mean, even aside that,
you are from voter agent. My good friend is from Ashanti region.
Me,
So as you say,
I'm also from Dagbere Buare, if you don't know.
Where's Dagbere Buare?
Dagbere Buare is in no, it's in northeast.
Oh, that's where you're from.
I'm a chief over there.
That's right.
Oh, my
I'm
brother.
a chief. I'm a chief.
He's telling you.
Yes, you're a chief over there.
I'm a chief at Dagbere Buare.
Yeah, chief over
I'm in
there.
Koswahini.
You are from.
Yes, I'm in Koswahini at Dagbere Buare.
The last time you visited there was about 5 years ago.
Last year I was there. I was at Dagbere Buare.
Try to visit your palace every 3 months.
Good morning, host. Please, I want to use your channel to wish the Honorable MP for Sisala West Mohammed Adam Supari happy birthday, and may his victory for the second time be a victory that will bring more development to the good people of Sisala West. Yusuf Mba Isaac, NDC Communications Team member based in Fielmo. I don't know if
Fielmo, in Sisala West.
Oh, okay, right. So that's one of your constituents there. Good morning, Bless, and your wonderful panelists. The Finance Minister presented the first quarter mini budget to Parliament yesterday, and the question I want to ask is, will there be any salary increment for public sector workers? Because the last increment didn't have any positive impact on our lives. Please, if any one of you have an idea concerning negotiations on base pay and the minimum wage for 2025, should kindly brief the general public. Thanks. You didn't tell me your name and where you sent your message from. Right, let's proceed to our next topic for conversation. There's a lot of drama in or at the Electoral Commission of Ghana. Since December 7, we still do not know the winners of some constituencies. Some recollations have been done, of course. There are some that we know now. The likes of Baba Sadiq, Ebi Bright have all lost their seats when recollation by the Electoral Commission was done. Also, Techiman South and Co have gone back to the NPP. The NDC are unhappy about that, and they have said that this is a travesty of justice. I think there's one outstanding Ablekuma North, yes, that is the outstanding constituency. We are waiting for that. I think before the inauguration of the 9th Parliament this evening, would have come to a conclusion as to whether it's the NDC or NPP winning the Ablekuma North seat. But in the interim, let's have this conversation. I'm starting with you once again, Mr. Usu. The Electoral Commission of Ghana and everything that has played out over the last 29 days regarding these seats, the High Court, Mandamus, whatever, what do you feel about it? And with the current verdict of the EC as to who has won this constituency and who has won that constituency, what do you make of it?
I think the Electoral Commission was not fully prepared for this election. And it showed right from the beginning when they started with we were not going to use ink, when we were questioning how robust their systems were, and they insisted that everything was fine, and the woman always being on the defensive. You know, when you are a leader, when you are leading an institution, and your approach is always to defend even the indefensible, then it becomes a problem. So we were not prepared. And when I say we, I mean the Electoral Commission wasn't prepared. We were only fortunate that the election, the victory of the NDC was that emphatic. Other than that, we would have been in trouble. In terms of the Mandamus application, I said I agreed with it because I will never support a situation whereby Bless contested an election, Bless won, but people want to use dubious means to snatch it away from you. And so I was waiting for the outcome of the High Court, and lo and behold, the court ordered that all the outstanding polling stations that were never added must be added. Indeed, that is the position. You can't say that 141 polling stations voted and you are using about 131 polling stations to declare who won an election. And so I agreed with the judge on it that they should go back and do the collation or the recollation of the outstanding areas, or the collation of the outstanding areas. Bless, interestingly, I am shocked that in spite of the fact that we have been told, and all political parties are aware, that you can only win elections when you have your pink sheets available. I'm sure Honorable sitting by me, if you ask him today whether or not you have your pink sheets, he will show you. Or yours too, you
I have my pink sheet.
you understand?
Yes,
So at any given time, even when you call him at dawn, he can produce all the pink sheets and then compare it with that of the Electoral Commission. All the outstanding constituencies that we are having this issue, all of a sudden, from both political parties, they don't have their pink sheets. So for me, from where I sit, it's deliberate. They have the pink sheets. Amongst the two, one lost, but the person wants to use cantankerous means to get himself to parliament. That one must be resisted. Then that we will be serving a very bad precedent. That you can use thuggery or any other means to get yourself elected as a member of parliament when in fact the people did not vote for you. The constituencies that have been declared or reversed for the NPP, if it is the case that the losing candidates have solid evidence that indeed the court or the Electoral Commission has shortchanged them, the moment the results are gazetted, they have to petition the High Court and go with their evidence so that we can move on. I was of the view that looking at the way things were going, I believe Ebi Bright lost the elections. From my understanding, is he ever since this matter, this whole outstanding constituency came, I've been doing my background checks. I've been digging deep into all these constituencies.
Sure, you are not the returning officer.
Oh, now I have the information. She lost.
Yeah, information.
She lost the elections. But you know, the frenzy that was happening, they wanted to take advantage of it. I believe I sent my men to Techiman South, and Techiman South, what happened was that they voted skirt and blouse. The parliamentary, they voted for Matreje Mensah Kosa, and the presidential, they voted for John Mahama. So Matreje Mensah Kosa won. But the candidate there, and this is why honesty in politics is so key. The candidate there realized that there was that wind. I have the videos. I entered the Electoral Commission's office trying to destroy it. That must not be entertained. And if we had a serious working police, he should be paid immediately. In terms of Alkakwe Central, in the beginning, I forgot the CI, the very provision. So I was thinking using 110 polling stations. You know, it was 110 polling stations they used in declaring Baba Sadiq. But when they combined all, he lost. And Baba Sadiq knows. So let truth listen. And in 2028, this must inform the Electoral Commission and also the law, the judiciary, that we must have another layer where it can save all of us, whether or not at the end of the polls and at the end of declaration, we would also have a common platform, be it a WhatsApp or email, that immediately you email all the results there for all of us to save ourselves the trouble of having to go back. If the Electoral Commission had pasted or posted all the pinches at the various polling stations, would we be having this confusion? Now, Ablekuma North, where it is a tussle between Rabla, Obin, and Nana Efri. What is the returning officer saying? They cannot authenticate 20 polling stations. So now he is going back to consult the various returning officers for the various polling stations. So assuming or imagining we had all the pinches pasted, wouldn't it be easy?
Yes, you just have to go
We have all the beautiful systems, but because of the corrupt minds of officials that we put in places, they will not do the right thing, bringing chaos. As a result of this, you know, a school has been burnt in that constituency. Are you not going to use state resources to refurbish the school? As a result of someone wanting to be in parliament, police station has been destroyed in Techiman South. We cannot continue like that. Hey, it's elections. It's a 4-year business. I keep telling people, if you have forgotten about yourself, 4 years is roughly about, if my mathematics is right, about what is the name? 365 times 4. It's 1,460 days. That honorable and the president has to serve the people of this country. After that, they will come back to us. It's just like Champions League. If you don't win this year, next year, there's a reason why every 4 years we do elections. If you don't win this year, go and prepare yourself. Work hard, get a solid message. When you are giving power, serve the people in truth, not arrogance. When the people are telling you that we are suffering, don't come and spite us when your babies with sharp teeth who are organizing press conferences day in and day out and telling us that if you tell us that the system is so hard, then you are ungrateful. When I know that I'm hungry. So I agree with what has happened. Those that do not understand it, they must immediately go to court. And after all, a decision of the court has overturned a seat before, only that it delayed. I hope this time around we have grown and that there will be a expeditious trial. Remember that Rebecca Adoti versus Amos case, where Rebecca Adoti spent 4 years in parliament and then only to be found out that she was not the rightful person to have been in parliament. This time around, when it goes to the High Court and people have legitimate reasons, the court must expedite trial and then get the rightful owners. Until then, Okakwe Central is for Patrick Yabuama, Tema Central is for Forsen, what's the name? Techiman South, Martin Gomez, of course, won it fair and square. Obuasi is, I thought Obuasi was going for NDC because the declaration, the MP, the incumbent MP Patrick Yadom Wachi, he was there. He's my brother. He's a close friend. But I even came here and said I saw him there not complaining, not knowing he had a legitimate reason, because I've seen the NDCPC himself withdraw the case from court and say that yes, he won. That is the beauty of democracy. You cannot, if you have not been voted for, it will not even serve your own interest to lead people who didn't vote for you. You will struggle. You will struggle. You understand? As I'm lacing my boot to go and contest Okakwe South in 2028 to remove Kion, you think I'll go and win an election and Kion with macho men can take the seat for me? It will not happen.
Who is going to contest him?
Kion, I'm going to contest him. Okakwe South. Movement for change. Now you take movement for change. Those Okakwe South is very easy to depose NDC. It's the easiest place to depose him. And I will take him out. But if he performs, I will leave him to go, because all that we need is well, that was the crying call. People said they were going to perform. Now they themselves, they have seen their smoothness. 38, even without they go into work, can reduce further to 35. They gave us all the beautiful nonsense in this world. That was when Adam Smith became so relevant. Exchange rate, when the guy. First year, first year. They gave you this year, 38. So we must learn to use and use graciously and do what is right, and try as much as possible to reduce tension and violence in our politics. It doesn't serve anybody's interest.
Right. Thank you very much.
Mr. Solomon Owusu always says it's as it is, no overripe embellishments. I'll do a few more messages, then I'll come to let me do a few messages, then I come to you. Abdullah Abubakar says, "Good morning, Pan African TV. I'm watching you from Larabanga in the Savannah region. That's where the famous. That's where the mosque. The mosque. Yeah, Larabanga mosque is. Larabanga. Damongo. All right. Larabanga. We brutalize it more. Larabanga Mosque. Your boy Emmanuel says, "Good morning, happy birthday, Honorable Member of Parliament for Sisala West, Honorable Mohammed Adam Sukparu. May this special day bring you joy, good health, and the strength to continue your dedicated service to the people. Wishing you a year filled with success and blessings." Musa Batwa says, "Jane Mensah and her team have once again demonstrated a disturbing lack of transparency and candor, which reeks of blatant illegality against the will of the Guinean people. Their disregard for court orders is not only a direct insult to the judiciary, but also a calculated attempt to undermine the very foundation of our democracy. Such actions erode public trust and threaten the integrity of our democratic institutions. This behavior must be condemned in no uncertain terms." Isa Aziz says, "Good morning to the MP for Sisala West and a glorious happy birthday to you. The people of Sisala West are proud of you and are solidly behind you in all your endeavors, so that together we can build the Sisala West that we want to belong to." All right, thank you so much for your message. Recollation, a contrived agenda of the EC and the NPP to achieve Operation Recover All Loot, Operation Recover All Lost Seats, or else. Dano from Kecha, thank you, Dano, for your message. Let me come to you, Honorable Sukparu. What are your thoughts on the current situation as far as the redeclaration of seats are concerned, and what's the next step for the NDC? Are you aware?
Well, I think I disagree with what my brother Solo said, that those seats were won by the NPP parliamentary candidates, that is Tashima South, Okankwe Central, and Tama Central. Bless. All these things that is currently happening, I am surprised people are not speaking the truth. When I say people are not speaking the truth, who is supposed to be the supervisor of this election? It is the EC. And so the woman has actually exhibited monumental incompetence. What they've been trying to do for the past almost 1 month, these few constituencies that are left to declare. Tomorrow it is this person that has been declared winner. Today it is this person that has been redeclared winner. So it tells you how incompetent the Mensa and her team are. The people that they recruited to conduct the elections, the returning officer, the district elections officer, all the people that conducted the elections are under the supervision of Jane Mensa. Is that not so? And if Okankwe Central, a returning officer, declared a certain parliamentary candidate as the winner of the elections, what we are saying per the current CI, if you have any issue with the result, whether not all the police stations that were collated, you ought to have gone to court with a petition, but not with the mandamus. That is why the NDC lawyers quickly appeal for stay of execution, and that will be ruled today. What we are saying is that the earlier declarations stand, but if they have any issue with the earlier declaration, they should come with a petition, right? Then the court can look into the petition and see whether their case there are merit for the court to say that I am declaring the election or the first declaration now and void. But if you go to court seeking court to give you some powers to go back and do recollation, meanwhile the CI that we use for this particular election, there's nowhere in the CI that says that there can be recollation. That is our issue. People were declared winner of an election. People considered that they actually lost the elections. If tomorrow you have an evidence that not all the polling stations that were collated, what you have to do is to go to court with a petition. But you can't go to court and seeking for court to order the EC to equalate some of the results. All of these things that happen, all the problems we are witnessing, Tamasantra, Okanko, is it Tamasantra? Tamasantra, Okanko Central, Tashimanov. It is because of the EC's own actions in the past. That is why people are saying that apart from all the laws, there's a natural law we call law of karma. In 2020, same incident happened in Tachima South. And when NDC minority then led by Haruna Idusi petitioned the EC for recoalition, you saw the response written by Jenana. Is it Jenna? Was it Jemensa? You know, so the problem that we are currently facing as far as the four police constituencies are concerned, it is as a result of the EC incompetence. But I'm happy that our Honorable Speaker for the 9th Parliament has already served the notice. No, you don't know what she's talking about. There was a ruling that Fanyo Makin's case when he went to Supreme Court, that in the case that there's a contention, Speaker shouldn't wait for somebody to serve him a court order. You should know that there's a problem. And he's going to go by that ruling. All those constituencies, recoalition or coalition, whatever, he's not going to swear in any of those MPs until those cases are finally brought to an end. I am giving you an insider information, and I can tell you that those MPs that were declared yesterday, they won't be sworn in because their other contestants are also at court. The matter is not finished until it is finished. Until it is finished. I am saying that until no, but you can't just get up by and say until it is finished. They will not be sworn in. From here, by right honorable speaker. Tomorrow is it this midnight today? Yes, you can go and find convincingly. So you have to finish the matter. That's not what we are talking about. I am saying that it is saying Supreme Court. Go and read the ruling. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that. So he's going to apply the rules. They said he should stay, he should do so, and he's going to do that. Which one? I'm saying that when Afenyomakin went to court, when he declared those seats vacant, the fact that Afenyomakin had gone to court, yes, they said that he shouldn't have gone ahead to rule on the matter because someone was already at court. He should have waited. Yes. Until court determines otherwise. And I'm saying that even though those seats, there were declaration and redeclaration, some people are at court until those matters are finally determined. Yes. Speaker is not going to swear them in. They won't take. Yes. That's your speaker's position now. That is his position now. That is the law. The highest court. This is what they said, and he's going to just apply that. As simple as that. So people didn't understand. People didn't understand when Speaker said he will not swear in any of those. For MPs, people don't understand. They started accusing him that he does not have the power to swear in, blah blah. People don't even know the point. When we go this evening, I won't go to Parliament. Those that do not understand the process, they should listen. The clerk of Parliament, upon election Speaker, the Chief Justice will swear in Speaker, and Speaker would now swear all of us in as members of Parliament. And so he is saying he won't swear them in. Because there's a Supreme Court ruling, not a higher court ruling, Supreme Court ruling, that when the matter is before a competent court of jurisdiction, not a lawyer, until that matter is brought to finality, you cannot go ahead to determine the fate of the, And so if he swears them in today, and tomorrow Same court says otherwise. So we are waiting for them to finish the case before. And so they won't come. But, Honorable, what's his name? Patrick Yaboma will not be sworn in. Forsen, or was the guy that Tama Central? Forsen will not be sworn in. Martin Ajay Mensa Kosa will not be sworn in today, because yes, and you can. So you'll be. I know you'll be at Parliament today.
Giving us insider information, so let's.
It is not an insider. He said it. He probably he said it. But I got opportunity to listen to him when he further explained it, and this is the reason why he said ABCD. So he is not the one saying it. It was the Supreme Court that took that decision, and so he's only going to apply the decision of the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court will review that decision.
But until they review the decision, for now we are going to go by their decision.
I'm going to file sale of execution of their nomination.
No, you can even file one against me. And so the problem, like I said, it is not about people declaring themselves. Those returning officers are recruited by Jane Mensa. Is that not so? Is that not so? And so whatever they do, they've been supervised by Jane Mensa. For me, we must be holding her responsible for what is currently happening. And that is why I am supporting those that are calling for her removal, because for the past 2 elections that she has organized, we've seen that she has exhibited, how do I say it, incompetence. Her action shows that clearly she does not have the capacity to mount an organization like Electoral Commission of Ghana. Many of the decisions she takes decision today, tomorrow comes back to say that we are no longer going to do that. Look at the case of Dome Kobinya. A whole EC came out to say that they were going to rerun some polling stations. Then few days later, people, when they started sharing fridges and all of that, they came back to say that they are going ahead to declare the results. They are no longer going to run. I mean, people were sharing fridges. People, yes.
That police station.
That particular police station, people when they started sharing fridges. Some, parliamentary candidates.
So have they
The new patriotic.
for their fridges?
I don't know. Why did they beg for him to? Did they beg him to come and give them fridges? So you understand. So it tells you that she does not have the capacity to manage an organization like Electoral Commission. And so I support those that are calling for her removal. We need to get her removed from the office and get a competent person to be there, because we have only Ghana. We do not have any other country that we belong to. Ghana is our home. And the only thing that can disturb our peace is about the elections. Is that not so? And so if we have somebody who is not competent, who does not have the capacity to mount such an institution, it means that we are really joking with our lives. And so for me, I support those that are calling for her removal, based on the fact that she has exhibited enough grounds that she is incompetent. And so for me, if there's any petition that people are looking for people to sign, I'll gladly do so. I'll join them for us to present a petition to move her from the office. She and her deputies, they've exhibited enough incompetence that they cannot, mount the affairs of that organization.
Right. Thank you very much.
Right, Honorable Alban Sumana, Kingsford, Bagbin. If the signals we are picking are clear, is going to remain the Speaker of Parliament, and he will be the Speaker of the 9th Parliament.
He's the Speaker, no, he's going to remain.
The President-elect, let me read this press statement from the President-elect's office. President-elect mandates NDC parliamentary leadership to nominate Right Honorable S.K. Bagbin as Speaker of the 9th Parliament. The President-elect, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, in consultation with the National Executive and Parliamentary leadership of the National Democratic Congress, mandated the nomination of the Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin as the Speaker of the 9th Parliament of the 4th Republic. Right Honorable Bagbin has distinguished himself in the service of Parliament, rising from Member of Parliament for Nadoli to Minority and Majority Leader respectively, and subsequently as Speaker of the 8th Parliament. He brings a wealth of experience to the position, which will prove vital in steering the affairs of Parliament at this critical period in Ghana's democratic and legislative development. The President-elect is convinced that under the stewardship of the Right Honourable Alban Bagbin, Ghana's Parliament will be further strengthened to deliver effectively on its oversight responsibilities. Signed, Felix Kwachi Ofosu, Special Aid. Right, and so this is it. The Office of the Speaker has also responded. I extend my profound gratitude to the President-elect, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, for the honor and trust he has, in consultation with the national executives of the parliamentary leadership of the National Democratic Congress, placed in me by the decision that I be nominated to be elected as a Speaker of the 9th Parliament of the 4th Republic of Ghana. This is both profound privilege and an onerous responsibility, a responsibility that I do not take lightly. I am deeply humbled by His Excellency's confidence in my ability to lead the august house as we begin a new chapter in our nation's democratic journey. Throughout my years of serving to Parliament, throughout my years of service to Parliament and the people of Ghana, I have always remained loyal to Ghana and committed to the principles of justice, fairness, and respect for the rule of law. It goes on and on and on, but that's the press statement as you could see on your screens. Right. Honorable Suparo.
Yes, please.
This is somebody who comes from your home region.
It's not about he coming from my home region.
Well, I'm not saying it's about that. Let me conclude. Of course, you have this is a father to you.
Yeah.
I mean, for the fact that you guys come from the same region, he's a father to you. Has been, in Ghana's politics since has been
since 1992.
Yes, has been member of Parliament. Represented the people of Nadoli Kaleo, and has risen to be minority leader, has become majority leader, has become speaker. What does this mean? Is this something? Are you part of the people who were thoroughly convinced that this is the person to lead the 9th Parliament?
Bless. I think when the communication came out yesterday, I particularly wasn't surprised because I think Speaker Bagbin is the right person to be given the job. We all saw how he handled the hang parliament, how he's able to manage the hang parliament to the end. And so if you are looking for an experienced leader, I think that he deserved to be given another 10 to lead a Parliament of Ghana. What happened in 2020, it was just by a divine intervention. You can imagine if we had not gotten Speaker Bagbin and someone else had won that speakership position in 2020, what would have happened in Ghana? You can imagine the peace you and I we are enjoying today. You can imagine what would have happened if Speaker Makokwe had won. But Speaker Bagbin, when he became the speaker, he really managed the house to the extent that almost everybody, including even new patriotic parties members, were happy with his kind of leadership. And so as a party, it is important we reward him and let him continue to strengthen our democracy, the parliamentary service of Ghana. He has initiated several transformational agendas since he became the speaker in 2021. And so it is only fair that you allow him to continue so that he will make sure that all the projects he started, they will be fully implemented, and Parliament of Ghana will become one of the best parliament in Africa. A lot of speakers are always paying visits to Ghana. When you travel outside to participate in any parliamentary program outside Ghana, anywhere you go, they speak about Speaker Bagbin. There's no any country that you go and they want to talk about speakers of Africa and nobody will not mention Speaker Bagbin. How intelligent he is, how competent he is, how, you can think about all the good leadership traits in him. And so for me, I was not surprised. There were some other people that were saying that, president is from the north. No, president is from the south, Savannah region. Speaker Bagben is from Upper West. President John Dramani Mahama is a Gonja by ethnic tribe. Speaker Bagben is a Dagao by ethnic tribe, also from Upper West region. And Upper West and Savannah are two different regions altogether. They are not from the same region. And so it is fair that we maintain, and I am proud that he has been given the opportunity once more to lead us in Ghana's president. The best person you can ever learn from is Speaker Bagwen. And you have been in Parliament severally to cover our proceedings, and you see how he educates virtually almost everybody. If you are thinking about experienced legislature, somebody who is more experienced currently in Ghana's Parliament, you can't go beyond Speaker Bagwen. He started in 1992. In 2001, he became the minority leader. He led NDC when NDC was destabilized. He made sure the party was regrouped. He held the fort of the party till 2008 when the party won power. He became majority leader. Along the line, he became a minister, a cabinet minister. He went back to leadership positioning in Parliament. He became deputy speaker, down speaker. So he has already served in Ghana's Parliament for about 32 years. And so this opportunity that is given to him to serve again, it means that he will be doing about 36 years.
36 years in Parliament.
And so he is part of the Fourth Republic.
Right. Thank you very much, Team Mahama.
What did you get his name?
Right, Mr. Osu.
Well, Speaker Bagben, honestly,
did you expect any change, or you thought that there was no need to reinvent the wheel? It was just, maintaining him was the best decision.
I have a different opinion.
Tell us.
The issue is that if we are saying President Akufo-Addo didn't perform, he didn't perform alone. The Parliament also didn't help matters, because under Article 181, all laws must pass through Parliament. So if the country overborrowed, it overborrowed also because there was a speaker. The business of the day starts. You have a business committee and the speaker sits in there. Hey, you are there, you are always seeing the laws being passed. Can't you also put in a word?
There are 275 and it's now 276. So who determined as to
whether a bill should be passed or not?
There is a business committee. He knows that before matters are sent to the plenary, the minority majority, they meet together with speaker and their whips, discuss business of the day. What has been the input there? It cannot be business as usual. Whether or not is a material for speaker, that one is not in doubt. With the stature, having been in Parliament since 1992, and the way and manner he has conducted it. But I also want to caution that in as much as he is coming in, it cannot be business as usual. You see, the legislative arm of government is so crucial. They are supposed to serve as a check on the executive. And if the leader of that arm sit unconcerned for us to be dragged to such a levels, he can also not take himself out of the blame. And so I believe that he gets the opportunity to lead, because honestly I do not think that the letter should have come from the statement issued.
it should have come from you?
From the president-elect. Advice is needless, because Article 95 is so clear that the Speaker of Parliament has to be elected by members of Parliament. And if it is the case, fortunately for Speaker Bagbe, there is an overwhelming representation in this parliament by the NDC. So the president-elect could have used the party channel to just tell them that, look, Speaker Bagbe is the man that has to be nominated. Unless there is an insecurity, unless there are other members of parliament, particularly from the NDC side, that believes Speaker Bagbe should not continue. I do not see the head and tail of the statement. At the end of the day, it is an NDC dominated parliament. And once they decide that it is Speaker Bagbe they want, the opposition cannot do anything. But I am having some information.
For the deputies?
Not even the deputies. There are some MPs elect from the NDC side who wants to hide behind the minority side to also submit a name.
There's nothing like that.
I'm telling you, there will be a name, second name tomorrow.
And that person is today.
Today.
But as speaker,
that person
You know,
will lose.
in the day, remember the Alagete versus the Bejina Hughes situation. Remember that incident when the NPP and by extension President Kufuor had nominated
Such use.
and then this
the NDC. It was not coming from the NDC, but some NPP members went behind the NDC caucus to also put forward Alagete. So there was a vote.
to destabilize.
Because, believe you me, it's not everyone in there from the NDC side of parliament or members of parliament elect that support Speaker Bagbe. And if they don't manage it carefully, and there is a second name, Speaker Bagbe could lose. Take it from me. And that explains why maybe the president-elect has to come out boldly. Because if you have a constitution in front of you, read Article 95. So clear. But I believe that the NDC caucus will do themselves the greatest honors by respecting the opinion of the president-elect. It will be so sad that his first attempt.
Is there any name that
they are likely to bring forward Do Ajao. Take it from me.
There will not be any name. Don't mind.
They are likely to bring forward Do Ajao.
Maybe he will decline.
Who is going to decline? Who will be sitting there and the audio will be dripping and say, I will take off my mouth?
Do Ajao is he not part of the
Council of Elders? There will not be any.
It's part of this team. Is this the team for the transition team?
Transition team. It's just a temporary body. If I have been nominated as a Speaker of Parliament and by so doing members of Parliament sees me as a worthy candidate and I win, you think I'll burden myself with transition team?
Right. Thank you very much.
So it is what the president-elect wants to avert.
Yes.
He wants to seriously avert.
That's why he's
yes,
publicly. People have been questioning the values of separation of powers, and isn't Parliament supposed to be independent? Why can't?
No, it's an appeal. He is only appealing. This statement for me is an appeal to NDC members of Parliament elect that do not disgrace me as your president-elect and accept Bagbe. Else, I'm telling you, something monumental could happen tonight.
There won't be any name.
You watch.
Going there to confirm Speaker Bagbe.
So
as speaker of the night?
Are there any? We are going to confirm.
if the president-elect was that convinced that there was going to be, he wouldn't have come out.
I mean, that's by the way. Are there any
There should be
suggestions?
that official
Are there any
communication.
suggestions? Or are there any names or candidates for
There has to be
deputies?
any name.
The deputies?
Well,
Yeah, you're thinking of
What I think will play out
candidates?
in this whole melee will
I will
be
leave this to
the Parliament of
these are parliamentary
2005.
matters, and I don't want
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
I will
that's
no,
fine.
yes, but it's for now. It's not for public consumption.
No, but I think the NPP may not have a representation in the.
In the speakership?
Yes, I think. I think the Parliament of 2005 will repeat itself. The formation. You know, in 2005 there was speaker.
They could have NDC, NBC, and an independent candidate.
I mean, it wouldn't matter a lot. I think every parliamentarian knows that he's there to serve the people, the interest of the people. So for me, it doesn't change anything.
Right. Final topic for conversation: State of the Nation's address. The president says he's leaving a robust. I mean, some of the things that he said, I couldn't understand. When he said that the country is not broke, he is leaving behind nearly $8 billion in our international reserves, more than the 6.5 billion he inherited from the Eswa Mahadman administration in 2017. My question then is, if you inherited 6.5 billion and you are leaving 8 billion, what was the value of 6.5 billion in 2016? What is the value of $8 billion now? He also talked about prices of goods and services declining. He's not even saying that there's some stability now. They are declining. I don't know which universe or which country the president is talking about. I was surprised. He talked about some other things that, according to him, this government has done, which I disagreed with. But I mean, I want your thoughts briefly.
So clearly, the president was delivering the State of the Nation's address of a different country. No Mafia, not Ghana. If indeed he was, because his own statistics tells you that inflation is at 23%, more than what he came to inherit. If you say you are leaving a reserve of $8 billion, mind you, we are also not paying our external debt. So if we were paying our external debt, I'm not sure you would have been able to accumulate this $8 billion. Again, this is a precedent that even hospitals that are not completed. Yesterday you went to Kumasi to go and commission the Siwa hospital. The hospital is not ready. I don't know why President Kufuor would do this to himself. Then he goes there and commission it. This is the president who has left so many Ghanaians not interested in politics. Take it from me. Because if there was anybody that represented the hopes and aspirations of this country, then it was Nana Akufo-Addo, then as candidate. But his reign as a president has taught us how not to govern the country. And I agree with Kofi Amabua, Honorable Kofi Amabua, when he said that, because everything about him cannot be said that we would miss him for the right reasons. I've heard a lot of people say that posterity is going to judge him right. If there is any posterity that is going to judge President Kufuor right, it means President Mahama and anybody that comes after him would have performed poorly. Look, a president that came and his contemporaries, age mates, he decided to give them haircuts. To the extent that a former chief justice had to use a word that I've never heard for several years, a phrase, pin brain.
What?
Pin brain. You know pin brain? A small brain, a brain that is so fickle, small. You understand? He referred to Gabi when the woman was leading a charge, a demonstration against she being given a haircut. That happened under President Kufuor. The only president that came and the chiefs were instructed left, right, center, get up, get up, get up.
And salute.
And salute. How am I going to miss such a president? A president that a chief tells you that, look, your predecessor started constructing a school. It was about 90% complete. Please come and help us so that the children can go in and learn. Say if you have your own money, go and deal with it. A president that goes to a region and the people are crying that our road network terrible. The people of what's the name? Kwabri East. The president sees the need, finds the need, go and sit on radio, take FM, and insult their sensibilities. That if it is because of your terrible roles and you are not going to vote for me, go and vote for the NDC. That's why the NDC won. You see, be careful of what you say.
Be careful what you wish for.
He wished for it,
yes,
and see how it has ended.
Right.
So I will not miss him for any good reason.
Right. Thank you very much. Honorable Sukparu, finally, State of the Nation address.
You mean Madam Rebecca's husband, State of the Nation's address?
Me for me. You can worry.
We can worry.
Why do you worry the beautiful Rebecca?
But we are not worrying. She, but for the past 8 years, she has been the first lady. Nobody ever even spoke anything about her until recently that we did know she is, she has that kind of arrogance. I believe she inherited. She probably got that from the husband.
Right. It's okay. I wouldn't mention it. I wanted to ask if the arrogance was something transmitted.
Well, it's okay. It's possible. So you see all the things he said on that day. Everybody were all surprised. That's why our leader told him the verdict of your administration was what happened on the 7th of December. That was the result of his 8 years in government. The 38.2%. That was how Ghanaians marked. That was his final, results. You call it final examination. End of tenure examination. You got 38.2, and you have the right to come and stand before Ghanaians to still talk about things that you have achieved. You have left $8 billion, like you rightly said. How much was $6 billion then as compared to the rate then as compared to, for instance, we and I know that many of our debt, we are not servicing them. Because we are not servicing them, I don't think that Ghana would have even been able to pay salary if we are servicing our debt up to date. We won't be able to pay salary. You have borrowed more than every government, putting all the governments together. Right from Nkrumah, you have borrowed more than all of them together. And you are not even ashamed. Yet you cannot tell the projects that you have completed. You promised Agenda 111, Agenda 111. You say 1111. You only completed three of them. Even the third one was what people, even the contractor had to come out to complain. You saw it yesterday when he went to, the one he just spoke about, he went to commission that. Out of 1111, you only commissioned three. And you come to tell us that you have done better. I think what our leader said, we are all standing by it, that he will be the worst president. And the worst thing ever happened to this country is we electing President Nana Akufo-Addo to become the president of this country. That's the worst thing that ever happened to Ghana under the Fourth Republic. I am telling you, take it from me. Look at all the things that happened. Anytime I want to sit and reflect on some of the things we went through in this country, I really ask myself if indeed we were living in this country as citizens, where a president saw himself as a king, not rather a democratic leader. He saw himself as a king. When he speaks, nobody can object to any of his directives. That is why today we are where we are today. Look at how he messed up his own vice president. He made the guys say things that he didn't have any control over. A vice president will go and say something today, tomorrow they are doing the opposite, and he makes him look in a way before the people of this country. And that is why they marked them, gave them 38.2. And you still have the infantry to come and stand before us to want to talk about your achievement. Really?
Right.
Anyway, I am just happy today is the last day for President Akufo-Addo. And we can't have him. There's not going to be any day that we'll have President Akufo-Addo ruling Ghana again. And so I'm the most excited person. I'm just happy that I can't wait. That is why I'm in white. This white signifies the victory. This is why I'm wearing signifies a good start, because a hope is on its way coming, and it's just not going to be tomorrow. Next, we're talking about tomorrow. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is taking leadership of this country, where every Ghanaian, including Solo, will part of this country. Where every Ghanaian, including Solo, can also feel that I am a Ghanaian. I can do business, regardless whichever party, whichever family I am coming from. That I am a Ghanaian. I can hold my leadership for them to account for their stewardship. I am a Ghanaian, therefore I can speak my mind. Nobody will come after me. I am a Ghanaian. You journalists, again, will have the freedom to speak without any intimidation.
Right.
I am a Ghanaian. The senior head teachers of the various senior high schools, you saw that they started speaking. This is a time that everybody we've been praying for. In the past, who bond up, you could not speak, even when you could not even get sugar to feed the students at the secondary school. What you are out to do is to keep shut. You dare not speak. If you dare speak, you will receive your dismissal letter.
Right.
We started seeing people speaking, and I'm happy that Ghana, we are back on track, and the reset agenda will be starting tomorrow, and tomorrow next, I believe that we'll start hearing some names coming out from His Excellency, the incoming president, the President John Dramani Mahama, and I believe in him. He is somebody who is humble, and we want someone with such, character to take, because we want somebody that will carry us along. We want somebody that will feel for us.
Right. Somebody
Somebody that will see blessed and say, blessed, I feel for you. And not somebody that will see blessed and think that blessed must come and say, Mr. President, and be bold before such a person.
Right.
So I'm the most excited person today,
right,
that we are done with the
Anyway,
era of His
happy
Excellency
birthday.
John Dramani. Thank you very much.
Enjoy your day
And I'm
today.
saying bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. All right. Abna Pukwaka, a first lady is not a president and does not have any authority in parliament to behave that way. I think it was unfortunate. Respectfully, let me do a few messages. I beg you. Good morning, Bless. The appointment by Speaker according to the NDC Constitution has been done by the leader of NDC, not President of Ghana and head of the executive. H.E. John Mahama is still the leader of the party until sworn in as president. Per the party's constitution, immediately a flag bearer is elected, he becomes a leader of the party. John is still the leader and not a president in office, so there's no issue of the executive exercising powers over the legislature. Bandex from Tamale. Thank you, Bandex. Ken Williams says, good morning. There's no need for State of the Nation address from Akufo-Addo, since he had nothing reasonable to say except self-praise of his useless regime. Akufo-Addo should have used the day to apologize for his atrocities and genocide in Techiman and Boko by his party thugs in police uniform. Akufo-Addo is a failure and a liability to the state, since he only came to power to loot, kill and destroy livelihoods of pensioners, bankers and babies who died of deformities caused by poisoned water bodies polluted by NPP officials through Galamsey. Thank you, Ken Williams, for your message. I'll do some 3 more. Let me do this one from my very good friend and father, Alhaji Hamza from Pig Farm. Good morning, my brother. I totally agree and associate myself with President Mahama in the endorsement of Speaker Bagben as the Speaker of the 9th Parliament. The endorsement of Speaker Bagben is purely based on merit and experience, and as a Speaker of the 8th Parliament, Speaker Bagben demonstrated to show that he's on top of issues when it comes to parliamentary proceedings. So I think it's a good move. I will urge President Mahama to also, as a matter of urgency, appoint ministers in his government based on merit and not on regional bases and friends. We need competent people who are committed to deliver to the satisfaction of Ghana. Thank you very much, Alhaji Hamza, for your message. And this one here also says that, good morning, I believe Solomon. All right, so this one here says, happy birthday to my MP, Honorable Mohammed Adam Sukbaru. Truly, the people of Ghana are more democratic and more civilized, and nobody can use this or a political office to push them into violence and achieve their poisonous ambitions. Khalid Bashir from Accra. Thank you so much. This is where I end today's show. Thank you so much, Mr. Solomon. Also, thank you, Honorable Mohammed Adam Sukbaru, and once again a happy birthday to you. See you in the next parliament as a member of the majority caucus.
Yes.
Right, I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is the swearing in of President-elect John Dramani Mahama. We are going to carry every bit of it here on the show tomorrow. We are going to have conversations and discussions in that regard as well. Let Pan-African TV be your station of choice throughout the inaugural ceremony on 7th December.